All right, so we're back and ready to dive deep into something pretty fascinating.
Definitely really interesting stuff happening.
Yeah, it feels like every week the lines between crypto and what we think of as traditional finance get blurrier and blurrier.
Absolutely.
It's kind of wild to watch. And this week's no exception, right?
No, not at all.
We've got some seriously interesting stuff curated by Emilion.ai to dig into. Bitcoin going crazy, new players in the altcoin space making moves.
Real estate getting a crypto twist.
Oh, yeah, that one's big. And even how all this ties back to the overall economic picture.
Connections are everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. So should we just jump right in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, got to talk about Bitcoin. It just blasted past $106,000.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we know Bitcoin's price swings can be pretty wild, but this feels, I don't know.
Different.
Yeah, different, like something bigger is happening.
I think you might be right. This surge, combined with, more and more big institutions getting involved, it really suggests that Bitcoin is kind of transitioning.
Transitioning how?
Well, it's moving from people just speculating on it to potentially becoming a real store of value. Like some analysts are even comparing it to digital gold.
Wow, digital gold. That's a powerful image.
It is. Think about it in the future, Bitcoin could be just a normal part of investment portfolios, right alongside stocks and bonds.
Okay, yeah, that would be a huge shift. And speaking of shifts, have you seen what SOL's been doing?
Oh, yeah, it's surging.
Has $270 in a single day. What's fueling that rocket?
Well, SOL, it's the token that powers the Solana blockchain.
Right,
Known for being really fast and having super low transaction fees. So, this surge, I think it's a signal that investors are realizing there's a whole world beyond Bitcoin.
Definitely.
They're seeing that blockchains that can handle tons of transactions quickly and cheaply, those have huge potential.
Yeah, makes sense.
Especially for things like, decentralized finance, all those DeFi apps and micropayments, stuff like that. This could really change the game for those.
This whole rise of alternative coins is really shaking things up. And it's not just, the financial markets. We're seeing it bleed into other areas too, like real estate.
Oh, yeah, that property story is fascinating.
Right. They're letting people use cryptocurrency as collateral to buy property.
I know, it's wild. They're basically using smart contracts to tokenize ownership. So you could put up your crypto holdings as security instead of going through the whole traditional mortgage process.
So no more banks.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
It could revolutionize how we buy and sell property, make it way more accessible for some people.
I could see that. But, I mean, isn't bringing crypto's volatility into real estate kind of risky?
Well, yeah, there are definitely risks. But that's always the case with new technologies, right? It's a trade-off. We have to figure out how to balance the potential benefits with the risks.
Totally. Okay, well, speaking of balancing benefits and risks, how about we unpack the latest in crypto regulation? Because, man, that's a whole other roller coaster.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's like everyone's trying to figure out where they stand, and it's changing constantly. We've got Senator Loomis and the FDIC vice chair kind of teaming up.
Pushing back against all the crackdowns on digital assets.
Exactly. But then, the House Financial Services Committee chair is supporting Trump's executive order on digital assets, but also
opposing a central bank digital currency.
Right. It's a lot.
It really is. It shows just how complex this whole regulatory landscape is right now. You have this drive for innovation on one side, acknowledging that crypto has a ton of potential benefits, but then you have this, I don't know.
Hesitation.
Yeah, hesitation, because people are worried about protecting consumers and keeping the financial system stable. It's tricky.
It's like a giant balancing act. And while everyone's trying to figure that out, we have the Trump token, of all things.
Outperforming the Trump Media and Technology Group stock, both in market cap and trading volume.
Yeah. Meme coins are clearly not just a joke anymore.
Definitely not. I think the Trump token is a perfect example of how unpredictable the crypto market is and how it can be influenced by, social and political trends that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah. Who could have predicted that?
Exactly. Meme coins, even though they're often driven by speculation and hype, they can reveal a lot about, the power of online communities and how they can really move markets. It's kind of like meme coins as a cultural barometer.
That's actually a really interesting way to think about it. Okay, well, it's clear that crypto doesn't exist in a vacuum. And speaking of context, we've got to talk about the bigger economic picture. U.S. consumer confidence is weakening, and inflation is sticking around.
Yeah, that's a concern.
So how does all of that impact the crypto world?
Well, it's all connected, right? This uncertain economic climate is making some investors nervous, so they're looking for alternative assets, things that might protect them from inflation. And some see crypto as a potential hedge.
Makes sense.
It highlights the fact that traditional economics and the crypto market aren't separate, they're intertwined, part of the same big, complex financial system.
Totally. But even with all this uncertainty, there's still so much investment flowing into the crypto space. It's kind of crazy. Like SVM Layer 1 blockchain Fogo just got $8 million in funding,
Mm.
and there's this roll-up scaling solution that got $7 million.
I saw that, yeah. It's a good sign.
So what does that tell us? That even with everything going on, people are still betting big on crypto's future.
I think so. All this venture capital coming in, it shows real confidence in the long-term potential of blockchain technology. And just for anyone who's not familiar, roll-up scaling solutions. They're basically ways to make blockchains faster and more efficient.
Which is essential, right?
Right.
If we want to see mainstream adoption.
Exactly. So all these investments, they're laying the groundwork for a future where blockchain is integrated into our lives, probably in ways we can't even imagine yet.
It's definitely a lot to wrap your head around. Mainstream adoption happening, regulation being a total puzzle, new applications popping up all over the place.
Yeah, the world of crypto never gets boring, that's for sure.
Not even for a second. So, with everything we talked about today, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
How is all this going to shape the future of finance? And how will it impact your life, your finances? It's definitely something worth thinking about.
Absolutely.